after the demonstration, if we can bring all that together, we can come up with what the plan looks like, you know, and then for the next 4 years. Which is research, you know, there'll be the stuff that we absolutely have to start with, that it makes sense to start with, and then the stuff that can come later, and then the nice to do if we get the cash kind of stuff. So we'll look at it like that, and then that will become a plan. And I suggest, you know, we take it to our program committee and get them to talk about it, because we need to keep raising the awareness of this in IUCN. And in a minute, you're going to see visually what it looks like when we start integrating things. I think it's quite exciting, and hopefully it will become more compelling for raising money when we actually start doing this. So, Alan.
Sorry, Jim, I've got to go in a minute, but I just wanted to raise a concern before I go. We talk a lot about integration, and there's a danger we talk about integration for the sake of integration. We have 4 separate systems, and they have a constituency, they have their own drivers.
Politics.
Politics. Not just political ones, but also functional ones. Mm-hmm. So you'll get natural relationships, wife swapping coming up where it's attractive to do so, you know, to hit a particular thing. So when you look at all of them, there isn't necessarily one thing which would drive integration of all of them. Because they've all got their own little things and all want to do something. So I think it's really important that we kind of say, well, if you're thinking of integration, why and what is the main thing that you can achieve by integration, which you can't achieve with the separate products? Because otherwise what will happen is you will get bilateral integrations happening in isolation from a desire and a need to integrate all of them, if there is actually.
Okay, so in a way, let's take this discussion away after we've demonstrated, because you're absolutely right, and integrating the red list spatial data with the WDPA immediately gives us a problem, which I'm sure Tom Brooks will mention. So let's show you all that, and what it does actually is it shows us the need to finish the job and bring in the other 2, frankly, the other 2 products. So, but you're right, and we need to think about those things. So let's go into the demonstration. Thanks.
Okay, so I just wanted to start with the Redis website. Yeah. Right. So this is the Redis website. I'm thinking most of you will be familiar with that. But there are some people which are not part of our normal group. So this is the Redis website. Basically, it's the interface or showcase interface for the Redis information that we have been talking about. So Craig is currently going to be typing any of the species there, for which I want to do a demonstration of showing the interaction. So the species that we have added, okay, I can take it from here. Thank you. Right. Okay, so basically you put in the name of the species, you do a search, and you get all these results here. And the one I'm going to be looking at is going to be Peter's diaper, which Mike Hoffman used in one of his demonstrations. I'm going to use in the same example because there are some nice things to be looked at. So if you click on the species name, this is still on the main Redis website. You get lots of information about it, where the species are, the assessment information, the classification schemes, images, and external links. But the main thing for today is we want to look at the map and what kind of integration work we have done on that. So if you click on View Map, it moves us to the new map browser that we have recently developed. So I joined IUCN in February this year. Already seems very, very long. But then straight away we went to the chairs meeting. And this website was kind of launched during the chairs meeting. So it's only kind of 7 months ago, I understand that. Right, so this is a new website we have developed. Previously, we only had images, basically, that would show you where the range of that species is. But now it's very, very interactive, so you can move around, you can zoom in and you can zoom out to get a better view of where the species is located. So this species that I'm demonstrating is found in Congo, so west of Africa. And this is basically the range of the species. So if we go back to this interface here on the right-hand side, you will see that there's a few information available. Basically, what is the category of the species, the list and so on. What kind of distribution information we are showing. So in this example, we can see where it actually is. But we have got some other kind of distribution information also attached. For example, exactly, vagrant information. So this kind of, I will show you another example which show what kind of information can come out. But also we can find some images here. So in this case, this is another example of some integration work we have done with another partner of ours, which is Widescreen. And one initiative of them, which is Archive, which is about showing images from species. So if you click on here, basically you can see images that has been pulled directly from the archive at the library. And if you click on these images here, it brings you to the archive database. So already this is some simple example of a formal integration that we have worked on. And when you go on the archive website, you can see there that they are also kind of having some redlisting thing going on. So again, working together with partners. So if I come back to the current website, down here you will see that we are showing citation information to show you where this information came from and who are the people that work on that, which is very, very important. Okay, so now if we look at the other tabs, we have got an observation tab and a protected areas tab. First I'll show the observation tab, which basically is another form of integration that we have worked on. So we'll see that we have got different providers here, iNaturalist, Encyclopedia of Life, and GBIF. What happens is that we have linked to these different data providers and try to find a match for the species in their systems. And here it's telling us that there are no species in iNaturalist and none in EOL as well, but there's 4 species found in GBIF. And when I click on GBIF here, you will see that there is a warning sign that appears, right? This is new. Right, so this warning sign basically is telling us that this observation data is sourced from external sites, and we are not responsible for that. So there could be mistakes which happen, but we're not responsible for that. And as an example, which is why I picked this species specifically, that you will see that there are 3 species within the range here, but there is another one which is here, right? And I trust Mike when he said that Mike basically did this distribution map himself, so he must be right. And this species is basically another, how do you put that? Another function.
The reflection of its split.
Exactly, within the 2 species. So this is an example of where, okay, pulling data can have some issues, but we need to know how to deal with that. But now we have got this warning sign basically, which is up there in yellow, which I'm sure Tom's going to be happy with. Right. So now I move to the protected areas. There is another warning here as well, which I'll come back to a bit later. But basically, what's happening here is that we are overlaying the range of the species data with the protected areas data, and we are doing an intersection. And this is bringing back all the protected areas that are present in that range, effectively. So already this is giving us an idea of what kind of conservation effort might be going on inside the range, to give us some context. Now about this warning sign here, this is the issue that Jay was talking about. So what it's telling us is that what we have done is that we have basically overlaid the likelihood of our species range with the protected area. It's not actually saying that the species is all in there. So if you come down here, you will see that we have calculated the percentage of the overlap to say, okay, this species or these protected areas is overlapping this percentage in that protected area. And this is where the kind of problem is, which we call commission errors. There could be different resolutions of different spatial data, and this is where things are exactly as seem to be. And this is where we can have commission errors. At present, we have put the warning there that people okay, be aware that this could be a problem. Please go to our disclaimer to find more information about that. To come back to the integration part now, so we have got the area data in there, and also by doing that, we are showing the classification of the different project areas here. So you can see that okay, there's so many national parks, so many habitat management areas, and so on. And you can decide that you want to filter on national parks, for example, which when I click, it just filters out the national park here. And effectively, if you click on one of these, it filters down which national park it is actually looking at. And by clicking on the Project area, it should go to the Project Planet website directly. Siobhan, do you want to join me to some next here? So this basically jumps directly to the Project Planet website and shows the project area there with the species located. I just pass on to Siobhan, who can talk a bit more about this.
Thank you. So, as Akbar says, this takes you directly to the Protected Planet website, which is the database, hosts the world database of protected areas. Hopefully you're all aware of this website now, so I won't go into too much detail, but this is the official record. This is the actual attribute data that's coming from the WPPA. And similar to the IUCN red list, it's pulling photos from Panorama in this case, of the species. We also, there's not a Wikipedia article for this particular protected area. If there was one, it would automatically search for it. And you can also link it manually. So it's bringing that information. And there's various other information on here. One of which, of course, is species information. So if you're actually on the protected area, you can get to the species information, which is the IUCN red list in two ways, either by clicking on the tab up here, or by going for this box down here. So we put it in two places just because we thought it was important. So if you click on species information, this then takes you to the protected area, which will be highlighted in orange, like this. And it shows you how many species ranges are found within that protected area. So there's 213 species whose ranges overlap this protected area. And if you hover over the various groups, you can see how many are in those groups. So just to note that many amphibians and mammals are currently integrated birds come through.
And we are working on integrating more groups in the near future.
Eventually all of them, right? That's the idea. So if you click on these, you can turn them off. So you only bring up the amphibian species. And similarly, you can hover over these and see the numbers and turn these off. So you only have the ones that are threatened. So that should now be working. Yeah. So you can turn it off again and get right back down to the lowest level. And then these photos are coming from Flickr. If you don't think it's the correct photo, it does interact, so you can change the photo if you're logged into the website. And if you click on this, it takes you back to the IUCN website. So they're interoperable all different ways.
So thanks very much for that. Well, I mean, this has been a great partnership project, and I would really like to thank all the colleagues who've worked on this. We've come such a long way in the last few months, and it's very, very interesting. You know, you go on a journey and you see one set of stuff and another load of pictures, and you can look at Wikipedia, and it really opens up a whole universe of information. To my mind, if we can get the key biodiversity areas up, if we can get the red list of ecosystems information up, it'll be amazing. And that's even before you start bringing in other people's data, which you can do. That's not going to be hard. I know Ed always ticks me off that I don't think about that, but I do. But the reason I don't go on about it is that I don't see is so hard. It's this bit that's going to be hard for us. You know, finishing the individual products and then working out how we integrate all this. But isn't this great? I mean, it's really, really good. So tell everybody it's there, you know. We need to do more to tell everybody that this has happened, because you say to people, you know, you think know these things, have you looked at it? And they often haven't, you know. I think actually view map is a bit, not a great button. We need to think, maybe change that and make it more interesting, yeah? Maybe put the WDPA Protected Planet logo in there or something like that, because it's view map's a little bit boring. Anyway, there's thoughts on those things, but we can continually improve, and that's the sort of iterative process. But any questions at this point on all of this? Yeah, go on.
Yeah, one more thing which I missed, which I know lots of people have been waiting for, and we have been wanting to do as well, is that now you have the facility to download the spatial data per species, okay, and this is something that we have very recently done again, I must say, with the help of Esri, we have done help us with that, so thank you to Esri with that. And that's there now, and if the data is available for the species, you can download it and use it, provided you abide by the terms of use of that, of course.
Thanks very much. So maybe we should now focus for the last 40 minutes or so on what next? Go for it.
You know, there's some things that obsess me, and one of them is sort of this is only in English, and it's only works with fast internet. So that really is a problem. So what are we thinking about? I mean, how is there any? I mean, at the very least, I realize how sad the JPEG maps are, but for some people, that's the only thing they could ever hope to download to visualize. So what do we think about that? I mean, how? I understand that it's costly, it's difficult, it's challenging, and all those things, because we know that. But the reality is that most users in the world won't have access to it.
Yeah, well, yes, I know what you mean. I went to Venezuela and I saw how it was not working very well. And I'm thinking that, okay, we have to do some more work on that. My take on it is that, okay, this is the first phase completely, and there are lots of things we can do to improve it and make it a lot better, okay? And already, as you've seen, I mean, there are lots of challenges already that we saw in network integration, even that. But I went to the S-User conference, and there are lots of new things coming up now that can make, for example, static maps readily available from this. So there are lots of new things that we can think about that we have to do, but now we have to start thinking about resources and the next phase of it, basically. But these are things that, I think very much about languages. For me, it's also very important, but I think that's a bigger issue. But again, it's down to resources, so more on this very soon, I would say.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, an ongoing challenge that we'll think about, and it relates to the readiness as a whole as well. And we don't have that conversation now, but there are things to say on that as well. So, thank you very much again. So then maybe we can move to the...
Question from here.
Oh, question. Professor Brooks.
Thank you. So yeah, thanks so much for the steps taken towards addressing some of my concerns over the last little while. It's very much appreciated. I wanted to quickly really highlight why the false positive errors are so potentially damaging. They're damaging from the conservation perspective because they give a false sense of security. They make you think that a given biodiversity feature, species, or potentially ecosystem into the future is safe, when in fact it's not. But they're also really damaging from the perspective of non-conservation users, of governments or corporates or whoever, because they undermine our credibility. If a corporation makes a multi-billion-dollar decision to reroute a pipeline or whatever it may be, based on an assumption, a naive assumption of overlay of their site with the polygons, and then finds out that the species doesn't occur anywhere near that place, then that's really, really damaging for our reputation. In terms of continuing to look creatively for solutions here, clearly the incorporation, as James says, of the key biodiversity area data in the middle between the species and the high resolution spatial data, comparison to protected areas and so on, is one key step. That will be important on the map viewer that you show here, where, for example, you'd be able to have the key biodiversity areas, and in the short term, important bird areas, maybe in particular, thinking about incorporating bird data, highlighted such that they are the sites that jump out, and then you have the range map in the background. It'll also be important from the protected area side, from the protected planet side, with the list of species and photos which you show. You'd be able to have the confirmed, documented presences show up first, and then the potential ones at the bottom of the list. I wonder though if there's another sort of short-term solution which we could do. If you imagine playing on Google Earth, when you exceed the appropriate resolution of the imagery, then it simply sort of flashes up a sign saying no imagery is available at this level of resolution. I wonder if it would be possible just to put a limit on the degree to which you can zoom in as a sort of short-term fix, which would help to take care of some of these problems in the short term before we develop the functionality and so on. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Tom. Simon, next, please.